Yes, my dear friends, welcome back to the channel GH247 News, wherever you are around the globe, especially on the continent of Africa, and my good friends in South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ghanaians, my Ghanaian counterparts are back home. Our compatriots are back home safely. They are happy to be back. And if you see them, you see the smiles on their face, the jubilation from the aircraft down to the tunnel, to the airport, the arrival hall, and for them to be met on arrival by the government officials. It was so beautiful. We are happy to welcome them back home. We are a proud nation, proud people. We've got what it takes to take care of and to be responsible for the well-being of our citizens. Ladies and gentlemen, as it stands right now, Ghana is leading the pace. The rest of Africa are following. As we speak, Nigeria are prepared to send home over 1,000 of their nationals from South Africa. As we speak, Mozambique had already arranged buses to convey their citizens from South Africa back home. As we speak, many other nations are following suit. My excitement is that Ghana has done what they said they would do. It's very important. Now, last night, the president of South Africa, out of shame, had decided to address the nation of South Africa. Very funny. I watched this man speaking, and you could see clearly that the mentality of these South Africans, I'm not too sure. The way he was even addressing his own people, listen, you see, it took over 7 months. It took over 7 months because this issue started from, I think, December last year or November, for President Ramaphosa to even acknowledge this crisis. It took them 7 months, he and his government, over 7 months, to come out publicly to address this crisis. Hearing him last night speak, I'm like, so all these whiles, where were you? Long after the damage has been caused. Now, because Ghana is standing up for its people and the rest of Africa are standing up to their people, you have decided to speak. It took you over 7 months, Ramaphosa. The silence during the period of that 7 months speaks volumes about the government's failure to protect its own citizens. Oh yes. Because it is the reputation of South Africans right now that is at stake. When people are calling them xenophobic, it is the reputation of the nation. It's a bad image. Why do you have to wait for the damage to be caused before you act? Mr. President, for allowing xenophobia to spread unchecked under your watch, real leadership means acting swiftly to safeguard every human life. Every human life, not just South Africans, every human life. Not offering hollow promises after the incident or after damage has been caused. Ladies and gentlemen, I will allow you to watch the videos. I will not take much time. I would like you to watch the video. Now, Jacinta responded swiftly to his own president. Jacinta, and the video is also there. I would like you to watch that also. Much leader Jacinta Ngobese Zuma doesn't believe in his own president. Ramaphosa was properly briefed about the damage that illegal immigration has done. But she says his plans are not implementable. He's saying that his president's plans are not implementable. Ladies and gentlemen, now look me in the eyes. In 1 minute, let me address this issue. In 1 minute, before you watch the videos from the president and Jacinta. Ladies and gentlemen, let's face facts. No one is saying South Africans don't have the right to defend themselves. No one is saying that illegal immigrants should invade their country. Remember, these immigrants did not enter the country through underground tunnel. They were issued visas. On arrival, they were determined how many days or how many months they were expected to stay. Unfortunately, some went and they overstayed. Yes, agreed. There are some also that went through the right process to get themselves valid in the country, and the process, because of the corruption in the system, some could not get the rightful documents to hold or to be using in the land of South Africa. Now, talking about all this, no one is justifying the fact that illegal immigrants are not expected or are not supposed to stay in South Africa. As a matter of fact, my own country, wherever you go in the world, illegal immigrant is illegal. Anything that is illegal. We agree. But ladies and gentlemen, here is a point in it. When the indigenes start to take the law into their own hands, doing the work of the police and doing the work of the immigration, harassing individuals, foreigners on the streets just because they are blacks from other countries, this is where the problem is. And this is what must be made known to South Africans. It doesn't matter where the person is coming from. You are not the right or the appropriate authority to attack any individual, no matter what. The law permits, when you see someone committing a crime, indigenous citizens are permitted to arrest and take the person to the police or the law enforcement agencies. Yes, individuals can arrest, but not to be on the street harassing, embarrassing, attacking individuals because they are blacks from other nations. This is where everyone is against you, South Africans. Hear it and hear it from me. The damage has already been caused, but there is always a way out. Your president has spoken. If you, Jacinta, if you can sit back and analyze this carefully, you can always reverse some of the decisions. Ghana, we are already out. The few Ghanaians that are still there, I pray they are well. I pray that they get their documents and they live according to the laws. Thank God, Ghanaians are not people that commit crimes like other. I'm sorry to say, we are not angels. We are not saints. But your own government had confirmed, when they check over 1,000 people that have been evacuated so far, not a single one of them are in your database for any crime in South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, let me leave you here. I want you to watch Jacinta and the president of South Africa speaking.
To speedily support the deportation of undocumented migrants. The South African Police Service, Home Affairs, and the Department of Employment and Labor are increasing inspections, targeting companies employing undocumented foreign nationals. As part of rebuilding,
to get him to acknowledge this as a crisis, and he hasn't. And finally, he's put it as something that's important to his agenda. First of all, I do want to acknowledge that we are happy that he's acknowledged some of the things like, tuck shops being taken over by foreign nationals. He's acknowledged the issue of some of the crimes that they do in the country. He also acknowledged the labor markets, which has been now bombarded with people who are cheap labor coming from all across Africa to replace South Africans and break immigration laws. However, I do feel like the president has got a misdirection when it comes to the issue, where he's looking at it as a political issue with people trying to gain political power, or these groups are rising because they think that they want to be in politics. I can safely assure you that personally for myself, I have no desire to be in politics. And for me, a safer country for our children is what would make me happy. But here's my biggest problem. I don't think the president was properly briefed. I don't think he took time to go to Home Affairs, to go to the border, to find out the extent of the damage. Because the issues that he's raising as solutions are impractical. And I can tell you now that some of the things, if not all of them that he said, are not going to be implemented.